All right. So if you chose the hairy frogfish, we're going to learn some interesting things about it. First, however, we're going to start by filling out our paper. So you have your research paper, and on this paper, we're going to keep notes of all of our interesting facts that we find out in our research. The first thing you're going to do is put your name right here. You put your name. I'm going to put mine. So mine says Miss Cortez's research. Yours might say Alex's research or Nicole's research. Okay. Now, in our paper, we're going to be looking for the species. So what kind of animal did we choose? Habitat, where does it live? Diet, what does it eat? What kind of body covering does it have? Is our animal a predator? So does it hunt for other animals, or is it a prey? Does it get eaten by other animals? And then on the back side, we're going to look for some adaptations or some physical features or behaviors that help it survive. Okay, let's get started because this animal is pretty cool. All right, so you chose the hairy frogfish. So I'm just going to read through some information and you got to be a good listener, okay? It says, a fish swishes through the water just above a cluster of coral on the seafloor. Suddenly, a hairy-looking, blob-like creature emerges from the coral, snags the fish in its mouth, and devours the snack. Devours means like eats up right away. The bizarre being isn't a mythical sea monster, it's a hairy frogfish. And its appearance isn't its only odd trait. Odd means strange. All right, let's see what we can find. So it says its common name is the hairy frogfish. It's a type of fish. It's a carnivore. So remember, carnivore means meat. It eats meat. Its size is about 8.7 inches, so almost the size of like a ruler, and it weighs up to 1.16 ounces. So it's really light. But guess what? I already found something that we can fill out for our research. So let's go back to our research paper. Species. What kind of animal is it? Is it a mammal? Is it a bird? No, it's a fish. So it's the type of animal. The species is fish. And we also found out that it's a carnivore. Its diet is, what does it eat? We know it eats meat. Carnivore. All right. So the cool thing about the video is that if I'm going too fast in the writing, then you can pause the video and copy down my writing. Okay. All right. Let's go back and find out more about this fish. It says, the hairy frogfish is a type of fish that's covered in spines. Spines are like prickly, right? These spines, which resemble strands of hair, so their spines, their prickly spines, kind of look like strands of hair, allow the marine animal to camouflage itself against coral and seaweed. You guys, we learned this big word, camouflage. Camouflage means that they can hide into their surrounding, right? Like their skin color changes. Found mostly in warm waters around the world, the hairy frogfish can also change its color to blend in with its surrounding. Would you like to be able to camouflage? I think it would be cool. These animals may be excellent at hiding in plain sight. However, they do something that really makes them stand out from a lot of other sea creatures. The fish, which actually grow about 4 inches long, don't swim. Instead, they walk on their wide fins along the seafloor as they look for snacks to eat. So even though it's a fish, it doesn't swim around like regular fish. It kind of like walks on the bottom of the floor. So guess what? We can pause again. I think we found out some more information that we can add to our research. In our research, we have to find some adaptations. So remember, adaptations are physical features or behaviors that help the animal survive. So right now we learned that the hairy frogfish has spines, right? And it walks on the bottom of the ocean floor. And there was something else that I forgot. It can camouflage. Camouflage. All right, so I think all those are things that will help the animal survive, don't you? So for the first adaptation we're going to write here is camouflage. Camouflage. Remember, camouflage is the ability for them to blend into their background. So how does camouflage help them survive? Maybe they can hide from predators. I know I'm writing fast, but remember, you can pause the video. Okay, so camouflage is one way that they survive. All right, let's read more about this animal. When it comes to meals, hairy frogfish aren't too picky. They chow down crustaceans and other fish such as flounder. These guys sometimes sneak up on their prey, but other times they make their prey come to them. Hairy frogfish have a special, extra long spine on their dorsal fins that looks like a worm. So touch your back right now. There's a very long bone on your back called your spine, and that lets you bend forward and backward. So the fish have a really long spine that looks like a worm. By waving its bait back and forth in front of their mouths, they can lure a target within striking distance. Talk about being put in a hairy situation. And you guys are going to be able to see in a second how they attack their prey. But I found something else. Aren't we trying to figure out what they eat? So we just found out here that they chow down crustaceans and other fish such as flounder. Flounder fish are like Nemo. Think of like Nemo. So let's go back to our research notes where it says diet. They eat, what else do they eat? We learned they eat flounder fish. They eat flounder fish. Alrighty. And I think we can fill this out. Where do they live? What's their habitat? The ocean. Their habitat is the ocean. They live in the ocean. Is this animal a predator or prey? We're going to find out right now when we watch this video. Are you ready?
Mother Nature. Who are you hanging out with today?
The hairy frogfish.
What a fun name. Is it part frog?
No, it's a fish with a few extra adaptations.
Okay. Does it have hair?
Nope. Instead of hair, it's covered in thousands of fleshy spines called spinules that help it blend into its surroundings.
Does it swim like a fish?
Not really. The angled fins are best suited to walk and to anchor the frogfish to the seafloor.
Does it eat worms?
Well,
What? It has its own worm?
in a way. It has an adapted dorsal fin that acts as
Remember, that was its spine. So it dangles it to lure in the fish. So it's like, here, fishy, 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 come. And then see what
the fishing rod with a lure.
Wow. A fish that goes fishing.
It doesn't just attract and catch small fish. This furry fisherman stalks and swallows big fish too.
Looks like rocks aren't as tasty as flounder. That's freaky.
All right, so is this fish a predator or a prey? Does it eat other animals? It eats other animals. So that makes it let's go back to our research notes. It's a predator. Remember, a predator is an animal that eats other animals. It hunts for other animals. And this fish totally does that. It goes like, hey, fishy, fishy, fishy. And then when the fishies come close, it like eats them. All right. Does this animal have feathers? No. Does it have fur or hair? It's called the hairy fish, but it doesn't actually have hair. It doesn't have moist skin and it doesn't have scales. Its covering is not on here, okay? So it actually has spines, and we're gonna write that down. It has prickly spines, so it doesn't have any of these coverings. It actually has prickly spines on its body covering. Alrighty, I think there was one more video I wanted to show you so you can see how they eat their prey. Let's see. Where did I leave it? Hairy frogfish. Where did I put it? Hold on. That's the one we just saw. All right, well, we'll leave it at that. Okay, the next one you are going to watch. Your next research is going to be on a book. Okay, so far we learned a lot of things about this animal. But now you're going to go to the next video. Okay?